What's going on, guys? It's your boy Boxing Facts Over Fiction. I need you to do me a favor. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification icon for more videos like this. Breaking news, guys. There are a lot, and I mean a lot, of Mexican, Puerto Rican, just Hispanic fans that really believe Mikey Garcia will knock out or even beat Errol Spence. Listen, guys, I'm not gonna knock you guys for supporting Mikey Garcia 100%, but sometimes we have to face reality, man. Sometimes we have to face reality that a guy like Mikey Garcia moving up 2 weight class to fight the boogeyman and Errol Spence Jr., who is undefeated in his prime, never lost, beats guys at the highest level, break them down in a one-sided fight. Mikey Garcia, this is the same Errol Spence that beat guys at the highest level in one-sided fights. It's not like I've never seen Errol Spence in a close fight. The only close similar fight I've seen Errol Spence in was a fight with Kell Brook. But Kell Brook was an undefeated fighter who had a title. But the only thing is, he was kind of like a beat fighter based on the fact that he went up 2 weight classes, what Mikey Garcia is trying to do. That's why the fight was really close. But then Kell Brook got stopped by Errol Spence. Errol Spence broke his eye socket, and Kell Brook was the much bigger guy. Errol Spence is stopping guys at the highest level. You know, he's not going to the distance with no fighters. He's stopping them. Most of these guys don't even go past the 9th round, except for Kell Brook. So for you guys to really believe Mikey Garcia beats Errol Spence, I try not to argue too much on Instagram, Facebook about boxing, you know, or debate about boxing, because I just like to come on YouTube and just talk boxing. But some guys, they just like to, you know, go back and forth. Some guys wake up in the morning just to and think about a rebuttal just to argue with you online. It's ridiculous, man. These guys wake up in the morning and say, listen, I gotta come up with something I can say to these guys about my boy Mikey Garcia, why he's gonna win. Clearly this guy has been doing a lot of thinking, and he's willing to voice his opinion why he believes Mikey Garcia will beat Errol Spence Jr. He said Errol Spence is not a big thing. My boy Frankie Gomez outhands him, put hands on him in the amateurs. Wait till my boy comes back. He's gonna light him up again. But anyways, I got Mikey by decision. If Errol don't try to go toe to toe. What? You mean if Mikey don't try to go toe to toe? Because if Mikey go toe to toe, alright. As much boxing as you say you know, I'm surprised you think Spence is gonna win. Gonna beat Mikey. Mikey has more boxing, more IQ, better ring generalship than Spence. Only little issue is that Mikey is moving up to 147. If Mikey can take Spence power, it's a wrap. But that's the difference. Mikey can't take Spence power, and the weight will play a huge factor. Mikey won't be able to take Errol Spence's power. Mikey won't be able to take Errol Spence's body shots. Mikey won't be able to take Errol Spence's relentlessness. Mikey won't be able to fight off the back foot good enough to prevent Errol Spence from his relentless pressure. Mikey dies in this fight, guys. And Mikey gets broken down, beat up, and seriously hurt. Guys, I'm a fan of Mikey Garcia. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm not a fan of Mikey Garcia and I want to see bad things to happen to Mikey Garcia. No, that's not the case. Mikey Garcia will not KO Errol Spence no matter what you guys believe. KO, win a decision. This fight isn't going the distance. For some reason, if this fight goes the distance, I will come on YouTube and apologize to you guys. But as much boxing as I feel like I know, I don't see this fight going the distance. I don't see this fight going the distance. Mikey may train with Snack, take his low vitamins, whatever he's doing over there at Snack. But this fight doesn't go the distance, guys. We have to face reality. And when Mikey gets stopped, guys, trust me, I'm gonna make at least 10 to 12 videos telling you guys how much I told you so. I mean, I feel like this is common sense though. Like, you guys should know this fight shouldn't even be too competitive. this fight shouldn't be too competitive after the third round. I'm not saying I have all my faith in Errol Spence, because Errol Spence is a good fighter, but he's not my favorite fighter right now. But I'm just telling you, Errol Spence fighting abilities and his fighting style is really bad for Mikey Garcia. This makes for a disaster of a fight in Errol Spence's favor. Mikey Garcia loses really bad, man. Mikey Garcia may leave this fight with broke. Mikey Garcia is putting on weight, doing whatever, but that weight is going to play a huge factor in the later rounds. He's going to realize he has that extra weight on, and he hasn't fought at that weight before. It's not like he's fought at 147 before. You may walk around 170, whatever, but if you haven't fought at that weight, go 7-8 rounds at that weight is going to play a factor. Understand? Especially if you're not the most speediest guy in boxing. Mikey is going to slow down. Mikey's going to slow down after 3-4 rounds. He's going to start to slow down. And we all know Errol Spence is a slow starter. When Mikey is gradually slowing down, Errol Spence is getting stronger. This is why I feel this fight is going to end in disaster. Mikey have no shot of KO on Errol Spence Jr. And I'm going to tell you why Mikey can't KO Errol Spence Jr. Why Mikey can't even hurt Errol Spence Jr. Guys, Mikey, last time he got a KO was in 2017. That was 2 years ago. Mikey hasn't gotten a KO in 2 years, or a TKO in 2 years, and he's fought a small guy in Dejan Zlaticanin, who he knocked out. I mean, a small guy in Dejan Zlaticanin versus Errol Spence. That's a huge difference, a huge difference. After that Dejan Zlaticanin fight, Mikey Garcia went and fought a guy in Adrian Broner who everybody thought was going to lose anyway. I mean, if Mikey Garcia would have stopped Adrian Broner, I would have gave Mikey Garcia even more of a chance to even be very competitive with Errol Spence. But I don't see this fight being too competitive after the third or fourth round. Then I would have gave Mikey Garcia an even better chance at possibly winning the fight. Mikey Garcia fought Adrian Broner. He couldn't KO Adrian Broner. He was a little bit of the bully in there, but he couldn't knock out Adrian Broner. He went up in weight, fought Sergey Lipinets, 140. He dropped Sergey Lipinets. He couldn't KO Sergey Lipinets. Then he went back down in weight to fight Robert Easter Jr. Robert Easter Jr. is a tall guy. He's even taller than Errol Spence Jr. Mikey Garcia couldn't KO Robert Easter Jr. He dropped him. Not gonna lie, he dropped him, but that was at 135. He couldn't KO Robert Easter Jr., Sergey Lipinets, Adrian Broner. But somehow, in you guys' wild imagination, you believe Mikey Garcia will KO Errol Spence Jr.? I want you guys to tell me, when have you seen Errol Spence Jr. really hurt? We all can say, oh, that Manuel Larte fight or Carlos Ocampo. How is he hurt against Carlos Ocampo and stops Carlos Ocampo in the first round? And he beat up on Emmanuel Larte as well. Come on, guys. Mikey Garcia is not. The only way I see Errol Spence losing this fight is if Errol Spence breaks an arm, breaks his hand, breaks his legs. That's the only chance I'm giving Mikey Garcia, guys. I'm going to tell you this shit right now. The only chance I give Mikey Garcia is if Errol Spence break his leg, his arm. Errol Spence is fighting with one arm or one leg. Other than that, Errol Spence destroy Mikey Garcia and puts him in the bag. Mikey Garcia ain't KOing nobody. He ain't KOing Errol Spence Jr. He couldn't KO Adrian Broner. He couldn't KO Sergey Lipinets, who only had 13 fights at the time. 13 fights, and Mikey Garcia couldn't KO Sergey Lipinets. The guy only had 13 fights. And he won the vacant belt that Terence Crawford left. The vacant IBF belt. Mikey Garcia couldn't KO a guy with 13 fights. Mikey Garcia couldn't KO Robert Easter Jr. but he's gonna KO Errol Spence Jr. Come on, guys, you guys are hallucinating. You guys gotta come back to reality. Mikey Garcia ain't KOing nobody at the highest level. He don't knock out guys at the highest level. If he did, he would have knocked out Adrian Broner. He would have knocked out Sergey Lipin. He would have knocked out Robert Racer Jr. When Errol Spence fight top guys, he knocked. Just like when Terrence Crawford fight top guys, he knocks them out. These guys don't go to the distance. Mikey Garcia goes to the distance. We're going to look at Mikey Garcia's record after that KO of Dejan Zlaticanin. Unanimous decision, unanimous decision, unanimous decision. And you guys are predicting a KO versus Errol Spence Jr.? Like, what medicine or pill does some of these fanboys, Mikey Garcia fanboys, take for them to be that delusional? Listen, guys, I'm not going to come on here and call you guys delusional because I understand you want to support your man. But sometimes reality have to set in. You have to wake up and realize you're in the real world and realize what sport you're in. You're in the sport of boxing. Size matters. And this is the reason why I want Errol Spence to really seriously hurt Mikey Garcia, because I feel like Mikey Garcia is very disrespectful. Not disrespectful as in talking smack to Errol Spence, as in going out of his character to disrespect Errol Spence, but disrespectful in the sense that he's brave enough to tell himself he can beat a guy in Errol Spence, move up in 2 weight class to challenge a guy in Errol Spence. That's very disrespectful. And this is why I want to see Mikey Garcia seriously hurt. I want to see Errol Spence body Mikey Garcia. They take Mikey Garcia out of there on a stretcher. I want Mikey Garcia to leave with broken. I want Errol Spence to break every teeth in Mikey Garcia's mouth. I want Errol Spence to break both of Mikey Garcia's eye socket. I want Errol Spence to break Mikey Garcia's arm. I want Mikey Garcia to seriously get hurt in this fight. And I'm never the guy to wish bad on a fighter, but I feel like this is a slap in the face of Errol Spence. This is a disrespectful move by Mikey Garcia. You don't challenge yourself by going for the toughest guy in the weight class right away. Right away, you don't challenge yourself by doing it. That's not challenging yourself. That's just stupidity at the highest level. Mikey Garcia is very stupid for taking this fight. I think his corner is very stupid if they doesn't throw in the towel early, because the amount of beating Errol Spence is going to put on this kid, we're going to hear about this for the rest of our life. We're going to realize why weight classes are put there for a reason. Errol Spence is going to beat the dog out of this kid. Errol Spence is going to beat the shit out of Mikey Garcia, guys. We're not going to recognize Mikey Garcia after this fight. Errol Spence is going to rearrange his face. Mikey Garcia is going to look like Danny Garcia after this fight. He's going to look like a totally different person. That's how bad Errol Spence is going to beat this guy. Errol Spence is going to break every bone in his body. Mikey Garcia is going to be rushed to the hospital after this fight, guys. At least that's what I'm looking forward to from Errol Spence Jr. I feel like if Errol Spence isn't able to really cripple Mikey Garcia in this fight, I'm not going to regard Errol Spence as a top pound-for-pound fighter, because he's fighting a small guy. Whether or not skills or not, ring IQ or not, you consider yourself to be one of the best fighters in the world, a guy moving up in 2 weight class, you have to destroy this guy, annihilate this guy. Do me a favor, hit that like button.